What's going on, guys? Welcome to the video. Today I'm doing a very interesting experiment, mainly revolving around chicken skin. Quick story real quick. I was cooking ribs last week, low and slow, around 200 to 250, and I decided I was just going to throw chicken in there, for the week, and didn't do anything to it. Just took it out of the package, did a quick spatchcock, threw some pepper on there, threw it on the smoker. And by surprise, this thing was shockingly crispy. And it just got me thinking, what really impacts the skin? You would think you would want it to be super dry, running at a hotter temperature, a lot of airflow in there. But somehow this chicken still turned out super crispy. So that kind of leads me to the experiment we're doing today. So I have 3 different chickens, and these are kind of prepped 3 different ways. So this first chicken, this is the one I would expect to be the crispiest. I did the most work to this thing, so I dry brined this thing. First I patted it off, then I did a dry brine with some salt on there, and threw a little bit of baking powder on there as well. And then just set it in the fridge and it's been in there for about 36 hours. And then I did season it this afternoon. Just put a little bit of duck fat on there, and then just a little bit of pepper. The next 2 are right out of the package, so they're very similar. So the first one you'll see is just pepper, and that's kind of the one exactly what I did last week. Just did a quick spatchcock to it, and then threw some pepper on there and threw it in the smoker. This next one is the same thing, but it's got no pepper, and it's got a Caribbean jerk rub on there. So I want to see if the rub really makes a difference. Maybe the pepper was just the big thing. I'm not sure. But I'm excited to find out which one's the winner. I would expect this one, the one with the drying the one off to be the best. But we're gonna find out. But let me get the smoker fired up, and we'll get these things on, and we'll start cooking. Today I'm smoking around 300 to 325, cooking on my offset smoker today. I do have the chimney wide open as well, just to get as much airflow in there as possible to help crisp up the skin a little bit. I actually am running a water pan in there. I ran a water pan last week with the ribs, and I just want to duplicate that cook. You would think it would actually make the skin worse, but maybe that's a smoking gun. I don't know. Maybe I'll do a video on that next, but anyways, I do have a meat thermometer in all these, so I will be tracking the temperatures and bring you guys back and show you what they look like when it's closer to target temperature. But I think it's time to get this test underway. So let me get this thing fired up and start smoking, and we'll see you soon. It's been about 2 hours. Have not looked at these chickens, so let's take a look. So as you can see, these chickens look pretty identical here. As you guys know, the one on the far right here, that is the one that I dried out the most. I used that dry brine with a little bit of baking powder, put it in the fridge, and try to dry out that skin as much as possible. And I don't think it made much of a difference between it. And looking at these up close here, just by touching them here, they feel exactly the same. They feel the same. They're all pretty crispy, coming out of a smoker. Of course, not deep fried or anything like that, but they definitely are not rubbery in any way. Because I've had that happen before, and the biggest change I've made here is this water pan. It sounds crazy that it would be, maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But I'm kind of confused on it. and I'm very curious to do a next experiment, doing maybe a chicken with cooking with a water pan and then cooking one without it right away. That should be a very interesting experiment. Can't wait to try that. But hopefully this gives you some insight on the different couple different techniques. Obviously there's other stuff you can do, but just wanted to at least give the trial without the dry skin and then kind of without doing anything. But yeah, be on the lookout for that video. They'll be coming soon. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next one.